and I'll text you back.
Text me, then I'll text you back.
Text me, then I'll text you back.
You text me, then I'll text you back.
Text me, then I'll text you back.
TikTok, you don't stop.
I will help you make your paper stack.
Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now?
205-964-52439.
Yep.
205-964-52439. You know.
There it is. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Tap the little. What about it? Oh, it's not on. Neither one of them on. So, scoot back in here. So, yeah, hopefully Instagram and TikTok can hear us now. I don't see TikTok moving. But I guess they'll let us know if they can't hear us.
Here we go. Yeah, TikTok. That's better.
Oh, okay, boom. All right, so we're in here. All right, so we're here to answer your questions. Everything you need to know about the biz and more. Today's topic is why realtors, real estate agents, should love wholesalers, how they should be able to work together. I bring that up because even though I've talked about it recently, it seems like we have to just go into that just multiple times every day. So I guess one more video on it won't hurt. One more topic on it won't hurt. So we'll dive into it, and I'll give you the parameters on how to do that. If you want to go down that rabbit hole, I got the shovel. So not being negative, I'm just saying that it's easier ways to find deals in most cases starting out. So, but we'll talk about it. There's some people they may find it that easier doing it that way. So I'm going to lay it down how I know it can happen. So, but we're here to answer your questions about that and more. We'll get into that particular topic later on in this live stream, December 28, 2021. 4 more, is that 4 or 3? I guess technically 3. 3 point something days left in this year. And 2021 is no more. Whether it was good, bad, or whatever. If you're here on Saturday, it had to be good. It could have been better, but if you're here on Saturday, it had to be good. So, what we got, ladies?
All right, the first question is on Instagram. Do you hire VAs?
Like I need to do one on VAs. we get that question a lot. Yeah, we have a couple we deal with for a couple of things. So to answer the question, yeah, the platforms that you can use to find VAs, the more notable ones, Upwork.com. That's UPWORK. Fiverr, FIVERR, or where I'm from, aura.com. And yeah, so, but you can just Google and then Google GOOGLE. You can go there too. So at the end of the day, it's all about, you can just Google virtual.
The way you spelled it.
Oh, GOOGLE.
Oh, okay. I thought you left off a G. You left off a G the first time. All right, this is on TikTok. The first question is on TikTok. Do you recommend wholesale and commercial better than multifamily?
Well, multifamily, 5 units or more, are a form of commercial. if you could be a little bit more clear on your question.
Should you cold text during your should you cold text using your personal number that's on Instagram?
Well, no, because no, just period, no. If you're trying to do mass number of text messages, there's a proper way of doing that. Matter of fact, I have the shirt on today. I think what is it? Yeah, text to flip. So if you text the word text to the 205-964-5243, in that video, I explained to you how to properly do it, how to build your list, how to skip trace the list to get the phone numbers, and how to set that up. On top of that, if you decide to go with the service that I'm partnered with, which is Batch Leads, and you go through text to flip, then we can get you someone to actually set you up, train you on how to get started. So.
All right, this one came from Demario Beatty on YouTube. He said, after educating yourself, what would you say is the best way to start wholesaling with absolutely no money?
Absolutely no money. Do absolutely no money means absolutely no money?
Just you're dead broke, nothing.
Dead broke means dead broke.
Dead broke
What
means dead broke.
that's the define dead broke.
You
Like,
ain't got nothing.
so you ain't got gas money. That's dead broke.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We have to call. Trust me, I been all of them. So there's different levels. You know what I'm saying? You got to let me know which level of dead broke I've experienced. So is that dead broke? All right. So do you have a smartphone?
He got it's prepaid.
But they still got to be paid. I'm saying that obviously if you got a smartphone, you got internet service. They don't even sell it without, for the most part, right? So, okay. So you're which technically this is, I don't know if it's the easiest way, but for some people it'll be easier. Wholesaling other wholesalers' properties, co-wholesaling. The largest operation out there, Keegley, that's that bread and butter. They basically wholesale other wholesalers' properties, have a tremendous buyers list. So you don't have to have the list that they have by no means, especially if you're just dealing in your market. You just need probably 5 to 7 strong buyers, and wholesalers are posting their deals all over the place, right? Facebook groups, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. They'll have their signs out. They post ads on Facebook. On Google AdWords. You'll just do a search, sell my house fast, or whatever the name of the city. Those first 2 or 3 pages of results are going to be normal other wholesalers. You can reach out to them, see if they have any properties that they can't move or whatever. Now, how you build your buyers list now, keeping in mind you don't have any money. So here we go. So if you don't have any money, so you don't have gas. I'm trying to wrap my mind. Can you move around? So it's all internet. Okay, so then it depends on what city you're in. Well, you still got to take money, so you're dead broke. All right, so now you're going to still use social media. You're going to get into Facebook groups, real estate investment groups for that local area, even national, but definitely within that local area. Start networking your butt off, right? When you're posting on your Instagram or TikToks or whatever you're doing, that's all free stuff at that point. So everything you're doing needs to be about that. Forget the foolishness or whatever. It needs to be back there. Or, well, let's say this. Forget the foolishness without some intention, some direction on it or whatever. So, that's what I would do if I was, like you say, dead broke, absolutely no money. That's what they said, right? Absolutely no money. Yeah.
Nada.
So, yeah.
Okay. This one came from Denzel Davis. Do you think the real estate market will crash next year? If so, all I see is dollar signs.
Well, I don't know if it's, if I could predict that, my man, I would be here talking about something different, because now I'm in the future predicting business, and you all will have to be paying me to watch for real then. So, but because I'm not, if it does or doesn't, you as a real estate investor / wholesaler, opportunities will still present themselves. You just will have to adjust to the market unless Congress passes a law that says all real estate is now free. So the likelihood of that happening, we know is not likely. So as long as real estate doesn't become free, people are going to move around, is whether they're relocating to buy another house, whether they're relocating because they're moving out of town, whether they're being relocated because they're being evicted, or whatever the situation is, that causes transactions, buying and renting, buying and renting. So you as a wholesaler / investor, you're getting in the middle of some of those transactions. Now, the climate may change on how that may happen based on, a lot of times it's about financing and what's available for the entire real estate market. But as those changes happen, you'll adjust to it and find different niches to make money with it. So, and normally when the real estate market crashes per se, normally that means there's a lot of discounted real estate available, which again presents an enormous opportunity to get rich.
All right. This one came from Cutie TV. Cutie TV. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Okay. So I want to eventually own my own brokerage, but do I have to become an agent, or is this possible strictly investing?
Now I think that's state specific as far as the process. I don't know that much about it where I can answer that question where you can just go straight into being a broker, a brokerage where you can house other agents or brokers under you. So I think some states may make that a lot easier than others. So you'd have to just research the state that you're interested in doing that in. Or is this possible strictly investing? So if you're asking, do you need a real estate license or a brokerage to be an investor? No. In a lot of cases, they're not even related. Some agents never deal with investors. They only deal with people that want to live in properties. So they can totally not be in related. Then you have some real estate investors, real estate agents, I'm talking about residential, that's all they deal with is investors. So, and then you have real estate agents that do a mixture of both. So it just depends. But to answer your question, do you need it to actually be a real estate investor? No, by no means.
All right, this is on Instagram. What's a good rate to pay VAs, and what should I train them on?
I guess anywhere between a good rate to pay VAs anywhere between, I guess, $3 to maybe $6. And then what you're going to train them on just depends on what you need them to do. You're trying to get them to duplicate your efforts, to free up time where you can maybe focus on some other part of the business. So that's just going to depend on you and what time you have available and your resources and what form of marketing you're going to do. You may just only have them doing just data research on properties. I don't know. It could be a number of things.
So is that like per property or per?
Oh, per hour. You're talking about the $3 to see. That's $3 to $6 an hour is what I'm saying. Maybe $2 to $6 an hour. Down. Yeah. You Philippines. That's good. Philippines is probably the most known. Pakistan, Bangladesh, India, Indonesia. Those are the ones when I've hired people to do all types of things over the years. I've used so many services off of Fiverr and Upwork over the years. Most of the thumbnails and graphics that you see that are produced, those come from those websites. I'm getting that work done for minimum cost versus if you pay someone here to do the exact same thing. So.
All right, this is also on Instagram. Is subject to the new wave versus wholesale?
Subject to is nothing new about that. Whenever I got introduced to wholesaling back in 2003, I was introduced to subject to at the same time. It's nothing new. Wholesaling, none of this stuff is new. None of these forms, I haven't heard of it. They may name it something different, then I say, oh, that's what they're doing. It's just another way of saying this. A lot of these techniques, most of the ones that I'm familiar with, is nothing new. It's been around since I've been doing it. So, and I know they were around a lot longer before I got involved 19 years ago. So, I knew about subject to.
All right, this is on TikTok. What's the importance of a clean title when wholesaling?
Oh my God, what's the importance of a clean title, period, whenever you're trying to buy and sell a piece of real estate? A clean title means that they have the ability to sell the property without any of that stuff affecting the transaction. A clean title means, number one, they own it and they have the right to sell it. A clean title means that they don't have any debt or lien attached to that title. A title company is not going to offer title insurance without those things being cleared up. And the title insurance protects you from the title company not doing their job. So in order for them to offer that title insurance, they have to make sure, at least they're comfortable with, that all of those things are in place. All the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed.
All right, back to Instagram. Is creative financing a better source to close than wholesaling?
I don't know if it's a better source. It's an additional feather in your hat. A lot of those opportunities may present themselves quicker than wholesaling. Just depends on what your end game is. Why not do both?
All right. This one is from YouTube. They say, when I find a deal, how can I get a realtor to write and submit an offer for me? How do I make sure they get a commission, understanding that they will want some of your assignment fee?
So when you find a deal, if you find a deal and an agent is not involved, why would you bring an agent into the deal? Maybe I'm not understanding the question. Because if you find a deal that is listed with an agent, whether you bring your agent to the table or not, the agent normally prepares the agreement. And trust me, they're going to include their fee in that agreement. Maybe I'm not understanding the question correctly.
All right. This one says, Flipman, I owe you some money. Closed my first wholesale deal, $15K payday, all from your free content. What's your cash tag? I gotta send you a little something as a token of my appreciation.
I will gladly put that out there, and I ain't even gonna be ashamed about it. $, ask Flipman.
Do we have one?
I used to have a banner for it. I don't have one for it right now. But $, ask Flipman. No, it don't matter.
It don't matter. Okay, this one says, what is the importance? Oh, we already.
Before you send it, send $1 first. Let me confirm it. Then whatever you want to send after that. What the worst thing we would want to happen is you just send that to the wrong person.
Okay.
I would feel horrible. I know you would.
Yeah. This one says, under which circumstance would I need to use a real estate attorney?
Well, depending on the state, like state of Alabama, you can use a title company and a closing attorney to close deals. If you're talking in terms of just closing a transaction, depending on the state, some states will only allow title companies to close deals, I think, whereas others may only allow attorneys. So just depending on your state, if you're talking about just closing a deal. But if you're talking about actual real estate advice, depending again, what advice are you trying to seek out? So you can be a little bit more clear on your question, Christina.
All right. This one says, what's the best way to build discipline in your opinion? Everything winds down to basics, right?
Well, that's just like a general life statement, I guess. For me personally, I force myself, just me personally now, I force myself to do things that I don't like doing. to try to build disciplines in the other forms of my life. Some of it works, some of it doesn't, but that's just me. So I don't like salads, but what do I do every day?
Eat a salad.
I eat a salad
Like it's ice cream.
and eat it with no dressing for the most part.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I force myself to do that to consume some form of raw fiber is the intent. But again, I look at it as creating disciplines in other forms of my life. But the problem with that is I may have a box of French fries to go with it. That may be the issue. So am I canceling it out? So, but the last 2 days, that hasn't happened. I got over the weekend. I just let it rip, as many of us did during Christmas. We ate whatever we wanted to. But as the new year approaches, I'm not even waiting till the new year. I'm turning over a new leaf. So day 2, I've done without any French fries. But the salads, I normally consume at least one per day. But and then another what else I do?
Cashew.
Huh? Cashew. Oh, you talking about the nut now? For his work, I don't know. I don't know. I think about that. Let's go to the next question. I'll think about that. That was an example. I hope I answered this question. I try to do things, just whatever. So.
All right. Let's see. This one says, what are some ways in addition to Dealulator to develop lists of area real estate agents to shop your deals to?
Boom. All you got to do is text the word buyers, that's with an S, BUYERS, to the number 205-964-5243. And in that video, I explain exactly or answer that exact question on how to build buyers list anywhere using real estate agents.
Okay. Which is better for bandit signs? Should I use a 1-800 number or a local telephone number?
Should you use a local phone number or an 800 number for your bandit signs? Local number. Ask me how I know. I tried it, wasted a lot of money doing it that way, and it didn't work. Local numbers, local numbers, local numbers. Keep it simple.
All right, this one says, well, they said they had texted you and didn't get a reply, but they said they really need to get a home for their family ASAP. What do I do?
Okay, so they say they text me and didn't get a reply. What number did you text? Make sure it was the right number and you didn't get a reply. So, it's no hard for me to answer that. You can imagine the number of text messages you get on a daily basis. I'm human, so I may have missed it. But if you're trying to get a home for your family, what should you do? I don't know if I can solve that problem today, right? But I don't know what your living condition is right now. But you're here because you're wanting to learn a way or a method to try to change your financial situation. Now, it didn't really say he was homeless, so that doesn't mean that because he want to get a home. He may be in great financial situation, so I'm assuming a lot there. So, but if whatever you got going on now doesn't allow you to do that, this is an opportunity to do just that. So in 2022, use the first month. I don't know where you are in your process as far as learning how to wholesale real estate, which is why we're here, and why we're here because it helps you make money. And normally money can solve that particular problem that you possibly have on an issue or want or need that you have. Learn how to do this. Set yourself a 1 to 2 month goal. You're going to become an expert, and then apply that information and check back. Hopefully this time next year, you texting and saying, hey, we moved into our house, or we've already moved into it. Boom.
Okay. Let's see. This one says, what would you say is the best market or state to get into virtually? I live in Illinois and limited to one deal.
If you live in the state of Illinois, number one, I would start right there in Illinois is what I would do. But to answer the question, I know you have the requirement that you need a license or whatever, but because everyone is somewhat thinking, well, not everyone, but most people are thinking like this question appears to be thinking that, hey, I can't do it here. That's the very reason you should be doing it, because most people are running for the hills while you're staying down there where all the money is. Because there is a method to the madness of doing it. But anyway, so to answer the question, I don't know if there's a best state to wholesale in virtually based on where you live. If you're, I guess, in Chicago, I think that borders the state of Indiana. So I would probably wholesale there if you're in that Chicago area, if my geography is correct. So if you border any state within, we'll just say an hour, you want to, that would be the ideal place, and especially if it's a city of any decent size.
All right, this is on TikTok. What software do you recommend to do comps and generate leads?
Well, if you text the letters ARV, that's A as in apple, well, A as in apple, R as in rabbit, V as in Victor, to the 205-964-5243. I'll show you in that particular video on exactly what I use and how you can access it also.
All right, this is on Instagram. Is there a way to get a blank print out of your contract to take on an appointment instead of using the computer?
Why would you want to do that? Let's answer that. I'm not even going to have them look for their question. Why would you want to do that?
Nothing so far.
I ain't being smart. I want to hear the answer. Then I got the answer.
Let's see. The lady Christina who asked about the real estate attorney, she said her question was regarding the closing. But thank you for confirming that it depends on the state.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's what she was talking about. Okay, good. I answered.
This one is from Facebook. He said, "Hi, Flip. I see many deals posted online."
Well, before you read that question, let me just go and answer the question there. They said, can they print out a copy of the contract? Okay, this is the way. This is why I set it up the way I did. Right? Okay. Most of everything that I put out here is the intent of you getting to a payday as easy as possible. Not saying it's going to be easy, but as easy as possible based on my experiences and the people I know that have done the same things, right? So printing out a contract, that's the way I used to do it when I started, right? And a lot of the technology that is available now wasn't available then. All right, so when you haul out there with a contract in your hand, right, handwritten up, it could be printed up, whatever. But now, whenever you put that in their hand, all right, now, what if they ask you a question you don't know the answer to? All right, they can still do it over the phone. It's a lot easier to handle in that situation. But all right, so that's one thing. The second thing is, once you take it out there, now you really have to have two copies. And what I used to do is have like a carbon copy. They sign it, I tear off a piece and boom, or whatever. But the reason that I started what I thought was a good idea, well, I know it is, there ain't no thought, is that I said, well, let me make it available. Number one, they'll go to my website, right? And they'll fill it out. They fill out the contract. It looks professional. Now, if they want to download it, you still can print it out and take it with you. I'm not understanding what the issue is, because you still can do that. All right. So once you print it out, or once you download it, you can save it to your desktop or wherever documents or wherever you save your files. So, but now you can get it signed electronically. That makes it easier on everybody, especially for you, because now if questions come up that you can't answer, a lot of times you're talking to them over the phone. In most cases, you could easily possibly Google the question while they're answering, while they're asking it to you, and possibly come up with the answer right there. They ask you, what does this mean? Hold on one second. And explain it to them. Right? So, but if you're walking out there with a handful of contracts, trust me, you don't want to make that a habit. Now, sometimes sellers are not going to give you an option to email it to them and get it signed electronically, which is just a couple clicks away, right? But the ideally, that makes it just so much easier for everyone, because once they sign it, you sign it first. And in the video, if you text the word contract, I show you how to do all this, how to fill it out for sellers, how to fill it out for buyers, how to get it signed electronically. Once you sign it, it automatically sends it to them without you having to send it to them. And then they sign it, boom, you get a notification, you have a completed contract. That doesn't sound beautiful? So now that's in your email that now you can forward over to a title company and or a closing attorney, whatever you have a buyer in place, and you don't have to worry about trying to scan it in or fax it or anything like that. We used to ride horses, now we drive cars. So again, what am I missing? So I wanted to go ahead, and I didn't want to think I was ignoring him. So please, the person asked me, I'm not trying to put you on the spot. You may say, well, Tyrone, I was thinking about, like, I said, oh, I ain't think about that. You're right. Today, I want to hear it. I don't know every god doggone thing. Let's get to the next question. What we got?
All right, this one's from Facebook. He said, I see many deals posted online. If I see a potential deal, can I put a wholesaler contract under contract for profit if I have a buyer?
Yeah, that's what I was explaining a moment ago when someone asked how could they start to do this with absolutely no money. You've had some buyers already lined up. Wholesalers are posting their deals all over the place. So if you have a buyer that would be interested in something like that, you reach out to that wholesaler, and that absolutely costs you nothing in most cases. You negotiate with the wholesaler, you all paper up, and boom, it's hammer time.
All right, this one's from YouTube. They said, hi, Mr. Flipman and crew. What advice do you have for someone who has all the tools as well as your ebook and still no deals? Prop stream, cold calling, bandit signs, everything, no leads yet. Do you have any advice?
So you're not getting any leads, Jacqueline? Or none of them have turned into deals? You're getting leads. So if she would have to answer that question for me. But well, let me just try to answer without her answering it. I'm assuming these things that you're doing, I'm assuming you're being consistent with it, right? So if you're doing bandit signs, how many have you put out? How many of those are still up, right? Did you watch my video on how to place bandit signs and how and where to place bandit signs? On the cold calling, how many people are you calling per day? How long have you been doing it? As far as the prop stream, how many lists have you been? I'm assuming that's where you built your list from. So she sort of has to fill in the holes for me to hopefully troubleshoot whatever her issues are, on this live stream.
All right, this is on TikTok. Do I need a LLC to start?
Also, what does her sign say? What do her sign, bandit signs say? All right, so the question was, do they need an LLC to start? Is the operative word there. No, you don't need an LLC to start. It won't kill you to do a deal or two in your name if you don't have the resources to establish an LLC. If you have to choose between a marketing budget and paying for an LLC, go to the marketing budget to do a deal or two. Then you can get an LLC in motion as far as establishing some form of a business entity, because you are running an actual business. But to start, no, you don't need one to start. But you do need one, after maybe say like a deal or two. It won't kill you to have a deal or so in your name, whatever. So.
All right, this one says, can you explain selling domains to realtors again? I'm in Oklahoma.
Okay. All right. So it's selling domains to realtors. Okay. What they're referring to, he's in Oklahoma, the state of Kansas, and Illinois. You have to have a real estate or broker's license in order to wholesale in those states. And so what I've explained in a number of previous live streams is, how could you go about still doing deals in those states if you don't want to get a license as an agent or a broker? So as I explained before, okay, so he said domains. So you're not really just selling the domain, you're selling the website along with the domain. A domain name, if for those that don't know, is the technical term for a website name. Okay, so that's the google.com, facebook.com, Twitter, whatever. So that's a website name / domain name, okay? All right, so what you would do is, and I explained before, realtors buy all types of services. They buy business cards, they buy signs to place in yards and just out in the streets in general. They pay for cold callers. They pay for postcards. They pay for Facebook ads, Google ads, YouTube pre-rolls. They pay for photos. They pay for all types of services, right? Radio, TV ads, billboards, if I didn't say that. Guess what else they pay for? Websites, right? Now, they'll have a website just for their name or whatever they call themselves or whatever. There's a lot of times it's just their name. Sometimes it may be a slogan or something. But nothing prevents them from purchasing websites for each property that they place on a contract if they're going to act as investors / wholesalers. So for you, what you would do is you would network, partner up with a struggling agent or broker. Trust me, there are tons of them in any market you want to be in, right? And you establish a web development / marketing firm where each time that a property is placed on a contract, and well, let me back up. So you may do all the marketing to find the deals, right? You do everything up to the point where until a contract needs to be signed. So the agent or broker would sign, under their license. Okay, so once that happens, say you all located a property at 1217 Dragon Street, 1217 Dragon Street. So you would go to a website like GoDaddy.com, not the only one, and you would register the name 1217dragonstreet.com or .net, .biz, whatever, it doesn't matter. Then you would go to one of the free website building services such as Wix, W-I-X, or Weebly.com, W-E-E-B-L-Y.com. I think I spelled it correctly. And you would set up a website there. There's going to be tons of videos on YouTube to explain how to do it very simply. Add photos and video of that particular property. Boom, you have an official website. So assuming 1217 Dragon Street, you all were going to make, you have it under contract with the seller and you found them at, we'll say $100,000, and you have a buyer that's agreed to pay $118,000 for it. So the difference of those two contracts is $18,000. Guess what? Whenever the closing is being put together, guess what you're going to invoice your partner / realtor friend or whatever you want to call them? Guess how much you're going to invoice them for that website that they're buying from you? Half of that deal, which is $18,000, which is $9,000 of the $18,000, if that's what you all agreed upon, right? As far as the split. And so whenever they close on it, they're going to cut a check to the seller. They're going to cut an assignment fee to the realtor, and they're going to cut you a check in your business name for that $9,000. Boom. What is it? Wash and rinse. Wash and rinse. Rinse and repeat. That's what I'm trying to say. Rinse and repeat.
Okay. Let's see. This one says, what do you do when you can't find the owner and the assessor can't find them either?
Well, the assessor, what do you mean the assessor can't find them? I know you don't know, but I'm just thinking out loud. Now, the assessor's not going to be looking for them, number one. I'm not sure what they mean by that. I mean, I guess he means like the property assessor or tax assessor for that particular county. If it's a situation, number one, if it's a local property, the first thing you're going to always do, if you can't locate someone, send them something in the mail, right? No response. Go ask the neighbors, or you may go ask the neighbors before you even send something in the mail. A lot of times they're going to know. They're going to know what's going on with a particular property, especially if you ask the right neighbor. You may have to ask multiple neighbors, what's going on with that particular property. And so from there, that doesn't work. Now you may want to take it a step further and try to find potential relatives of that individual. One website you could use is Intellus.com. I think it's spelled Intelius. And you can skip trace those relatives, and maybe you can reach the owner.
All right. They asked, hey Flip, can the POF letter help obtain a business loan?
I guess it depends on the lender, and I guess you're talking in terms of a down payment, or they're needing to show that you have liquid cash. I'm not sure, so it depends on the lender. I'm gonna say in most cases no, but it's going to depend on the lender and what are their lending requirements, minimum requirements to get money from them, to get funded by them.
All right. This one's from Kyle Brown on YouTube. He said, my business number through Google Voice got suspended. What can I do to get that number back?
What was he doing through it? If you were doing like a lot of calls or something through it, nothing. Well, I guess you can always hit support and dispute whatever was going on with it. But I don't know. That's a good question, man. I haven't used Google Voice in a long time. Yeah, I haven't used it in a long time. If you text, I'm sorry, I don't have anything to text on that. But if you just do a search for Flip Man best phone numbers, that video will show you what we use, which that's not the only service. I think you may find a better service that you like, but we use Vumber, and that's Vumber with the V, VUMBER.
Okay, this is from the lady who said she had a lot of our services, but she hasn't did a deal yet. She said none have turned into deals. She's in Jacksonville, Florida, about 3 months now. Signs we buy houses as is. Text or call, and the number 100 out of many still up. I did watch her placement video.
Okay, she's addressing the bandit sign. So 100 is a decent number. It's a decent number, especially if you say the majority of them are still up. So I guess sort of hard to just go back and forth here, but so you're not getting any calls?
I think she probably getting calls. She might not.
Maybe it's not a deal.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's 100 is a good start, but that's not enough. I can just tell you that. So that's why I was asking what have you done as far as the cold calling. I know that was part of our first text. How much of that have you done? It just sounds like you, Jacqueline, you started. And I applaud you, but you got to compound what you've already done, especially 3 months, and only depending on those 100 signs, you could get lucky and get something. But normally you have to extend on that. You have to do more than that. Some people, I did an interview with this couple out of North Carolina. They only put out like 10 and got their first deal. It's just difficult to say that. But that's not the norm. So definitely just need to do, sounds like Jack, just need to do more of what you've been doing. Again, you didn't really address the cold calling part, but just on the bandit signs, you need to do more. Um, 8 months.
All right, this one's from Christina Williams. She said, how do I respond when cold calling and they ask me where they're going to live?
They ask her where they going to live?
Mm-hmm. They must be being funny.
They're not. Yeah, Christina, I'm like wherever you want to when you get this money.
Right.
The world is yours. Zimbabwe, wherever you want to. If they're giving you a smart comment like that, you ain't got nothing. Christianity don't waste no more brain power on it. They trying to be funny in an attempt to be humorous. Them the ones you come back with. That just should make your day. Zimbabwe.
Stupid. All right, this one says, I cracked my first deal learning from Flipman. I bought into the ebook and stuff. We closed in the morning, hunted them down in September. They came from Dallas to OKC, and the rest is history. Thanks, Flip.
Oh, that's what's up, man. Well, all right. That is what's up, DJ Chief. Trade 3, TR3.
All right, this is a good question. Do these tips apply to any country?
No. These tips are based on contract and real estate laws of the United States of America. So if the laws, as far as contracts, are very, very, very similar to the U.S., boom. If the real estate laws are very, very, very similar to the U.S., boom, then yeah, you could probably do the same thing.
All right, this is a good one. They said, it's from Mark on YouTube. He said, I'm in college at the moment. What do you feel is the most cost-effective way to market for a student? Because I'm working on getting the LLC right now. It's only $125.
As I mentioned in the beginning of this, wholesaling other wholesalers' properties is going to be one of the quickest ways to get going when you have no money, right? Because you just need to network to find a few buyers, cash buyers, and then feed their deals through other wholesalers. But you're in college, you can pick up a second gig to raise up a little capital to what am I trying to say? Hey, my man sent me that $1. Hey, I got it. Hey, I got that $1, man. But yeah, you can start that. Huh?
Reply back.
Oh, I can reply back?
Yeah, you could do like either the thumbs up or like or.
Oh, okay. I can't say nothing. Oh, okay. Yeah. Boom. That's what's up. Oh, man. Hey, I like when people do stuff for me, man. I'm very appreciative. The dollar will be well spent. What you got?
All right, this is on Instagram. On the one-page contract, is the seller social security number required for them to do the deal?
No, just like in the video. No, just put NA there.
All right, this is on TikTok. What's the best way to find sellers?
The best way to find sellers? Going to be a number of ways. I don't know if there's a best way, because a lot of it is catered to what resources you have and you as a human being and how you operate and communicate with people. But I would probably say the top 3 inexpensive methods would be cold calling, text messaging, and bandit signs. I would say the top 3 in my opinion.
All right, this is on Instagram. You buy in Birmingham, might have a deal for you.
Oh, wow. Oh, man. Oh, wow. So that's nice.
Oh, he sent you something else?
Oh, yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, shout him out.
Yeah. What was his name on the? I know what his name is here, but I don't know if he wants a real name out there. Yeah, man. I really appreciate it, man.
He says Body by Tay.
Oh, that was him? Oh, Body by Tay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Hey, thank you, sir. Hey, we can close shop now. Tay didn't banned us for a month.
He said that's your 3%.
Oh, that's my 3% Hercules. Oh man, I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah. The one on Instagram, do you buy in Birmingham? This person said they might have a deal for you.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, DM me.
All right.
That's where we are.
This one says,
Okay.
I asked you earlier about contracting wholesalers. My question is, should I come across a good deal, but have trouble with finding a buyer would be able to help?
Would I be able to help?
Yeah, maybe.
But
That's a
have
good deal,
trouble
but have
with
trouble.
I guess he meant would you be able to?
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. Is that Jose?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Jose, man. Just you can text me on the 205-964-5243. But if you text 5050, it explains it or whatever. If not, I'll explain it also. But text 5050 to that number and that video explains it. Oh, yeah. So the topic for today is why realtors should love wholesalers. Okay. If you watch a lot of my content, it may sound like I'm like negative towards agents. It's not that. It's somewhat of a little frustration because I think people are being lazy. Whenever they find out about this, the first thing they go to is the internet, and most of the properties that are advertised on the internet are by real estate agents, especially like on sites like Zillow and Realtor and Trulia and sites like that. So, but on the flip side of that, agents, like we had a comment from a young lady yesterday, I think her name was Julie, that said, she was a new agent, I think she said, and she's been warned to stay away from wholesalers or whatever, and that shouldn't be the case. But the thing is that I think what agents get confused on and why they should love wholesalers, but what they get confused on is that, yes, it does sound like we're doing the exact same thing that they're doing. The difference is we've actually become a part of the deal whenever we place a purchase and sales agreement on a property. Okay, so now agents, obviously, the more they sell a property for, the more they make, and the cheaper we get it, the more we make. Okay, but if I was an agent, and some of them have figured this out, yeah, you can probably make more money with a seller if the property sells for more, but you may never deal with that individual again. So, see, if Walmart operated on that pretense that they were only going to sell you something once, they couldn't be as big as they are. So it's a volume play, right? Now I don't know if they're the cheapest now, but that was their thing on how they rose to where they are. Is we always low prices or whatever it used to be. I think it's something even more ridiculous than that, a slogan. But with an agent, for them, the way they should view wholesalers is this is steady money, almost like passive income. If I consistently bring, and it doesn't have to be but one wholesaler, it doesn't have to be multiple, consistently bring deals to wholesalers, I'm getting paid even on the properties that I know the seller would take a significant discount. And that can happen so quickly. Whereas they put a property out there and it may stay on the market for 3 or 4 months. Now, again, if they sell it, boom, but listings fail, just like our contracts sometimes don't go through. You have failed listings also, or expired listings because no one purchased the property. But instead of them going back to the seller and seeing, hey, we could probably move this property a lot faster if we sold it at this, right? They could do that so much more than what they could. And a lot of sellers are not trying to get retail price. A lot of times they are motivated to sell a lot cheaper. And I know they just say, well, I'm looking out for my client and I want to get them the best deal of property. Yeah, but that also means you're going to make more money too, right? So, you really, what is the seller's real pain? Do I need to wait on possibly getting 70,000 3 months from now, or I need 25 right now? Whatever issue they have going on, I need it right now. The 70, it won't even matter 3 months from now, because number one, it may be a situation where they're behind in payments or something, or maybe a medical situation, or it could be a kid going out to college. They need the money right now. So if they would take advantage and really just in those situations where they know the seller would take a lot less, that's where wholesalers come. Now, they don't need wholesalers, don't get me wrong in that sense, because they could just move the property themselves and just discount it on MLS, deeply discounted. But what I'm saying is that if they go into a role of whenever they actually meet the seller, sometimes they already know that they'll take a lot less just by that conversation that they have with an actual potential motivated seller, because their definition of a motivated seller is not ours. Now, the main side of it that agents could really benefit with wholesalers is when agents are dealing with flippers, because a lot of times they can't feed their potential clients as flippers enough properties because they can't get the discount on properties because, again, you got other agents that are managing or listing those other properties, and they're just not going to go low enough. And, you really can get a stigma or some type of bad reputation if you always are bringing lowball offers to other agents. They don't even want to answer your calls anymore. So that's where a role of a wholesaler could fill that void for agents that really need those deeply discounted properties. Just have an open mind to it, right? Again, we know we are at an automatic conflict. Like I said yesterday, Spider-Man and the Green Goblin. I think I said Batman and the Green Goblin, but Spider-Man and the Green Goblin, two different universes. So open your minds. We can work together. Why can't we just get along? You seen this thumbnail? Let me know what you think about it. It's a work in progress, trying to do a different direction on it. You gonna throw it up real quick? Yeah. If you like the thumbnail, it made sense. Just trying to do a little something different here. Got a really good graphic artist that's working on that. And just let me know what you think. So, but yeah, we can, agents, if I was a real estate agent, wholesalers would love me, because I would be making so much money as an agent, because they would love me, especially if I was in one of those cities, in one of those states like Oklahoma, Illinois, and Kansas. They would know they could come through me, and I don't have to have 50%. I would be happy with 20, 25%. I wouldn't have, just for my John Hancock, I would be happy with 20 or 25%. I wouldn't even have to have 50% of their deals, which I explained earlier on how that transaction would go down, is how to get paid using selling them websites, for the properties or whatever. So hopefully that actually made sense. You can take that down now. So again, why realtors should love wholesalers? It's a volume play. It's just more money that's out there that you're turning your back on. It's really that simple.
I have like 4 questions we can do.
Yeah.
And then that's pretty much all of them do.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one says, do you contact the title company to deposit your earnest money deposit right after you get the contract signed, or do you wait until you find a buyer and use his title company and deposit it then?
Ideally, you're going to wait on a buyer because they may not want to use who you're using. But sometimes you may not have that choice. The seller may be pressing you on it, so you may have to go ahead and put that in motion, but you may have to transfer it later.
All right. This one says, I've got an interested seller who owns a duplex, is recently renovated, and he says he's interested in selling if he gets the right number. I'm so nervous about the comp stuff. Please help.
Crystal, when they say if I get the right number, normally that means they're not motivated. That's a bad combination there with him making that statement and it being recently renovated. Not to discourage you, but offers are free. So as far as trying to comp that particular property, if you have other duplex type properties that are sold in that area, then it's going to be very simple. You just go through the normal comping process. But if you don't, I would use a house as the normal size house in that area as the comp, and just make maybe a slight adjustment of 10 or 15%. increase on it. That's one way of doing it. Not really the best, but that's how I know I'm doing it. It's just a bonus that it's a duplex. He may be open to owner financing. Who knows? You can always offer that to him, and where you can still possibly cash flow on it or wholesale out those terms. But normally, after he renovated and he says he gets the right price, normally those are not the most motivated individuals. So.
All right, this one says, "Hey, Flip Man, I was trying to sign up for your accelerate program, but it's a great program, but it said no dates were available. Will Zoom dates be available soon?"
Hopefully, we should have something coming up.
Okay, this one says, "Agents are confusing. I keep hearing I'm familiar with wholesaling. I have investors looking for properties, but then they say, how can you do that without a license?"
Well, it's one of those things where they're supposed to be an expert because they're an agent. And so they hear a term, instead of saying, well, I don't know about that, they'll say what you said here in the message. Just say, I don't know. But trust me, ask me something I don't know. No problem. I don't know. It's not my lane. My lane is my lane. But that's the reason. Instead of them saying, I don't know, they got, because they're letting you know they don't know, because they're saying, how can you do that without a license? That answer lets you know they don't know what they're talking about.
All right, that's all I got.
Boom, guys. We got to let 10 do our thing. So we're an hour in, so we appreciate everyone showing up today. Make sure if you didn't get your questions answered, post them in the comments section of any of the YouTube videos here. I forgot to say, you want to partner with me on self-storage, text the word units. In this video will explain, text it to the 205-964-5243. And if you're trying to sign up for a prop stream, you want free training. If you sign up through dealator.com, we offer free training on it. Text the word time to 205-964-5243. Why most wholesalers fail is because they can't recognize a great deal. Text the letters GD to this number, and this video will explain to you how to recognize a great deal. So these are going to replay mode shortly. Again, if you didn't get your questions answered, post them in the comments section of any of my YouTube videos, and I answer those on a daily basis. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Flip man, it's the flip man. You want some money in your hand? Flipping houses without credit or your cash.